eye contact, right? Eye contact. But accountability, a word that feels heavy almost to the fact that it's impossible. Script. Why? Because when we think about accountability, we think about blame, judgment, and the glaring spotlight on our imperfections. We think about standards that seem unattainable and the crushing weight of admitting when we fall short. And yet, no one is perfect. Life throws curveballs. Sometimes we don't have all the information. Other times we make mistakes that were never part of the plan. So, is it fair to expect anyone, ourselves included, to truly be accountable? On the surface, accountability seems impossible, but here's the paradox. Even though perfection is unattainable, accountability is one of the only true paths to self-improvement. Why is it when a friend asks us something like, hey, do you want to go work out in the morning, we make sure that we're up on time, we have all of our stuff together, but when it comes to doing something like that for ourselves, we can't do it? Is it because of the fear of not wanting to let somebody else down? Why not do that for yourself? Is it shame, judgment? Why? Let me explain. Accountability is not about perfection, it is about reflection. It's not about punishment, it's about growth. Here's why it's so important. One, it will build self-awareness. When you're accountable, you take a hard look at your actions, your choices, and their outcomes. This self-awareness is foundational to growth. If you don't recognize where you've gone wrong or how you've contributed to a situation, how can you change? For example, say you miss an important deadline. It's easy to blame distractions, coworkers, or bad timing, but true accountability asks, what could I have done differently? Maybe you could have planned better or asked others for help earlier. Owning that truth makes it easier to adjust your approach next time. Second, it builds trust. Accountability doesn't just affect you, it affects your relationships, personally and professionally. When you own your mistakes, people see you as reliable and trustworthy. Conversely, when you dodge responsibility, others tend to lose faith in your ability to follow through. Think about a leader who admits to their team, I miscalculated, here's how I'll fix it. That leader earns respect because they model transparency and growth. The same applies to friendships, family dynamics, and even with yourself. 3, it drives improvement. Here's the kicker. Accountability fuels progress. Each time you take responsibility, you learn something new. You might discover a gap in your skills, an attitude you need to adjust, or even a habit that isn't serving you. It's like a feedback loop. Accountability gives you insight, insight leads to adjustment, and adjustment leads to growth. The more you practice it, the more effective you will become in achieving your goals. But here's the thing. Accountability isn't easy. It takes courage to admit that you're wrong. It takes humility to recognize you don't know everything. And it takes effort to fix what's been broken. Let me say that again. Accountability isn't easy. It takes courage to admit when you're wrong. It takes humility to recognize you don't know everything. And it takes effort to fix what's broken. Sometimes it feels impossible to hold ourselves accountable because it means confronting uncomfortable truths. But let me ask you this. Would you rather live with excuses or live with growth? Accountability might seem impossible at first, but the irony is that it's the one thing that makes self-improvement possible. By owning your actions, you reclaim self-control. You can stop waiting for circumstances to change or for others to pick up the stock or slack. You realize that the power to improve, to be better, has been in your hands all along. So yes, accountability is hard. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, but it's also empowering, transformative, and liberating. Every time you hold yourself accountable, you take one step closer to the person you're capable of becoming. One step closer to a life of growth, trust, and fulfillment. Impossible? No. Difficult? Yes. Worth it? Most definitely. The choice at the end of the day is truly yours. So I got out the car, forgot to say thanks for watching. That was so wait. Eye contact. Appreciate it, man.